Good morning. Good morning. How is everyone doing today? Welcome to twitch.tv/iScreamUploads. My name is Graham Day, and this man, do you know, sorting out his fringe just as we're going live.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you've
Popping
got... just got to look good for the cam. It's the man that we call.
Just because it's not my balls.
You what?
I've tucked them away.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in. You are live on twitch.tv/iScreamUploads with us. Ice Cream Uploads, and in true Ice Creamy fashion, this is your scoop, your daily dose of news from the world of video games and beyond. Some people may even call this the UK's #1 video game podcast. We are those people. Me and Bib, we're those people. But still, we're going to give you our thoughts and impressions on the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories from the world of video games, and we want your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions in return. So please, if you are live with us, feel free to get involved in the chat and give us those thoughts and impressions. And it's important that you do, because we turn this into a podcast, a video for YouTube, and an audio podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Google Play. So please, if you're in the chat, get involved, because everyone watching on demand doesn't have the opportunity to use their voice with us live right here, right now, like we do. So get involved. Get involved. Just like Mr. Noir Cobra has. Sup, noobs? Good morning. Good morning. How's things, dude? Luque, buenos dias. Buenos dias. I would respond with something else, but all I can say is the same thing in return. I mean, buenos noches, which is good night or whatever. So yeah, you save that one for later. There you go. Yeah. Other than that, no. Are we all doing? How's things, babe? How'd you get on the golf course yesterday?
Good. Very well. Very well. I was extremely happy with the way that I played. I was playing against my cousin, who is a 14 handicapper, left-handed. Didn't know that until he stepped up to the tee, and his clubs were the wrong way around. It's annoying, really, because the course that we play on definitely favours the left-handedness of people, whereas it's an absolute nightmare for right-handers, because every single bit of obstruction that you can come across is on the right-hand side.
Do you know when something is blatantly obvious, but you never notice it? Did not, until you've just said that then, know that left-handed golf clubs were a thing. I just thought, it's a stick. But now you're thinking of it, yeah. You can't hit it with the wrong side. So yeah, that's just like, blow my mind.
Well, yeah, it's weird, because I've never played with anyone who's a left-handed player before. So when they're stepping up to the tee, like, looks a bit off this. But yeah, like the golf course that we play on, like the ponds and all the big trees and stuff are all on the right hand side. So because I'm a slicer, my ball goes from left to right, whereas he's a slicer, but his ball goes from right to left. But all the best ins to get into the flag onto the green are on the left hand side. So every single hole plays to his advantage, which is super annoying. But yeah, I had a really good round. I'm playing some of the best golf I've ever played. So it's just a consistency now, because I know full well next time I enter a competition, it'll be the worst I've ever played.
Was that at Ducky Golf Club?
Yeah. The home of golf, some might say.
You need to find out who designed the course. I bet it was a lefty. I bet it was like,
probably, yeah.
Yeah, him and his mate's like, yeah, well, I'll play on my new golf course. Yeah, see how we all get on. He's like 40 shots under, right, kind of thing. And they're all like sifting through ponds. Where the feck has it gone?
Yeah. I broke 90 yesterday if I didn't lose 4 balls. Which obviously I'd shot some penalties onto the top of your score, so I finished with 97 yesterday, which is 3 off my best. 94 is my best I've ever finished, so I would have absolutely creamed that yesterday if I didn't lose 4 balls. Funnily enough, 2 went in the pond. One of them went in the pond, and I wasn't even on that hole. It was just that bad of a fucking shot, and it went in the pond.
I was just about to say, yeah, that's my kind of shot, but it isn't, because to do that you have to hit it with enough to get it off. What's it called? Wait, is it tee? Is it what? So yeah, wherever you start, I mean, I wouldn't hit hard enough or clean enough to get it off there. I'm one of those people that when you see those videos where they kind of like slice the top of it and it just kind of goes down and then straight up into the air and lands pretty much in the same spot. That's me.
Well, Fern sent me a message last night saying, "What do you think?" And it was a video of him swinging a golf club, and I swear to God, the technique is all over the place. Like it was wild. However, he's hitting the ball straight. Fern, if you're in it, you're hitting the ball straight, mate. That's all you need to worry about. It doesn't matter how bad the technique is. I wish I could play with a really bad technique and hit the ball straight. But, I mean, yeah, he's doing well.
Usain Bolt's got bad technique as a sprinter, but he's the fastest man that's ever lived. So, you know,
exactly.
that is what it is.
Who am I to say that he's got a bad technique when he's hitting the ball further and straighter than I am?
Speaking of hitting the ball straight and bad technique, we played some Pez on stream yesterday. Yeah, the My Club Co-op for the first time on PES 21, and do you know what? Bibby wasn't even there because he was too busy fondling his balls with a lefty, as we've just found out.
Absolutely.
We played some interesting football. It was myself and Luis Ferno. We didn't have a great win percentage. We won 25% of the games we played. Although the other games, there was 3 games we lost. 2 of them we played against people that kick-off glitched, and the other one we were outnumbered. So I'll take that as a 1 out of 1. The other ones don't count. So yeah, there we go. We finished with a win. Job's good. But yeah, interesting. The game definitely plays better than 2020 did. Not perfect, but it's based off the same game, but it's an improvement, so that's good. Morning ads. How's things, mate? David says Bueno chocolate bar. No, it's not. It's Brenda's Nachos. That's what you say. Brenda's Diaz and Brenda's Nachos. That's what you say. I thought that the ball always goes straight when hit. It's a bit like football. Get a bit of side spin on it. That's me. Just like Happy Gilmore, but without happy. Blackpool for the win. Thank you very much for the follow 20 minutes ago. Hosted radio as well. Thank you very much for the host. Living up to your name. Cheers, much appreciated. Tickle, good morning, dude. How's things? Anyway, let's jump into some news. Obviously, we've got Masters of the League following this, so we need to jump in and get through. Actually, before we do jump into the news, a quick reminder that if you are playing PES, obviously I'm wearing a PES top, which wasn't a tie-in, but we played PES on stream yesterday, and we will be playing PES after this. That's our Masters of the League stream. But if you want to play some PES yourself, if you've got eFootball PES 2021 season update, i.e. PES 2021, scared the crap out of me then. Thank you very much for the bits, dude. Yeah, if you want to play some PES competitively, we have the Muscle Moose Cup. So you may be aware of Muscle Moose. You know, if you want _Muscle Moose in the chat, we'll give you some information. Actually, nope, don't. Chatbot's dead. Which I'm going to restart just whilst I'm doing this. But whoop. !Muscle Moose in the chat in a few minutes should give you information on Muscle Moose. They are, do you know, they're a good bunch of people. There we go. Anyway, they're working with us to give us discount codes for you guys if you want to save yourself any money on buying Muscle Moose bits, which Ads has done. He's pretty much addicted. It's not there yet. Chatbot's just loading up. It had dead because I had to restart my PC. I did tell you, give it a few minutes. So literally 10 seconds later. Damn it. Okay, try it now. It should work for you right now, I think. But the downside of doing that means that we now have chatbot open on my PC and in the studio at the office, so we'll start to get double stuff coming through as well. But there you go, 25% off Muscle Moose using that code. Anyway, Muscle Moose have given us some items to give away for the Muscle Moose Cup. So we had qualifier number 1 on Wednesday, qualifier number 2 last night, and big love to Pirate, who won last night's qualification. So he will be in the Muscle Moose Grand Final live on the Twitch front page on the 30th. Anyway, qualifier number 3 is taking place at 7 PM tonight. So if you play PES and you want to play against some other people with a little bit of something to aim for, qualifier number 3 takes place tonight, and you can sign up to that. Check out the Ice Cream Uploads Twitter, unless Bibby has the link to hand that you can drop it in the chat. But yes, if you wanna play, if you think you're decent at PES, you can sign up to the Muscle Moose Cup completely free. If you qualify from tonight, you'll be in the final on the Twitch front page on the 30th, and the winner of that gets yourself a Muscle Moose selection box. So that's I think it's like 13 different Muscle Moose items within it, plus an Ice Cream Uploads baseball cap as well. So make sure you get involved. Anyway, as mentioned, we were going to jump into the news, but I realised that we had some housekeeping to go over. That is done. Let's jump into the first story of the day. Actually, let's jump into this and then go to the first story of the day. There we go. First story of the day. Xbox Series S game install sizes will be approximately 30% smaller than Series X. So that's same game side by side. It will be 30% smaller on the Series X over the Series S than the Series X. So due to the smaller resolution, texture packages required. This is written by Tom Ivan for VGC. The article goes on to say, Microsoft has said that game install sizes will be approximately 30% smaller on Xbox Series S than on Series X. So while the £449 Xbox Series X will come with a 1TB SSD, the $249.99 Xbox Series S, an all-digital console, will be equipped with a 512GB SSD. Xbox Director of Program Management Jason Ronald told IGN that because of the smaller resolution texture packages required for games on Series S, which will run software natively at 1440p as opposed to 4K on the Series X, install sizes will be significantly reduced. With a performance target of 1440p at 60 FPS, our expectation is that developers will not ship their highest level MIP maps. The hell's a mip map? It sounds like just a word you say. Yeah, they're not going to share the bobbity bobs and the bibbity bibs, but also they will not ship their highest level mip maps to Xbox Series X, which will reduce the size of the games. He said, "I have no idea what a mip map is. That's completely sent in the US." Anyway, ultimately.
No.
The controls in the developer's hands. We've had this technology for a while that allows developers to intelligently choose which assets to install on which device they're playing on. So the flexibility is in the developer's hands to make sure the right assets are there. Microsoft said last week that Xbox Series X and Series S pre-orders will begin on September 22nd, and that's enough. We don't need to go into the other bits. But yes, 30% smaller. The games will be 30% smaller on the Xbox Series S than on the Series X, or they have the potential to. Obviously, that depends on whether developers actually use that. But what are your thoughts, Bib?
I have a very small question, a technical one that I don't
Is
think
it
either of
30%
us are able
smaller?
to answer. It is 30% smaller. That I don't think either of us are going to be able to answer. So, on my PC, when I play a game and I'm playing an online game, I tend to put my graphics on low. I know I'm going to get the best frame rate, the refresh rate, and all that shit that comes along with it. Is this going to be better for online gaming to play the Series S with the likes of Warzone or Fortnite or whatever compared to the Series X? Is it going to be a little bit faster if everything's just a little bit lower? Because the Series X can have 120 frames, can't it? But this is locked at the Series X is locked to 60 at 1440.
I think so. I seem to remember it can do some things higher. So the aim is 1440p 60 FPS. But I don't know whether it can hit 4K or it can hit 120 or something like that with certain things. Maybe I'm confusing that. Maybe I'm confusing the fact that the 4K Series X can hit 8K potentially. But yeah, 1440 60 is what they've referenced in the article.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could be right. It has a smaller SSD, but I believe most of the graphics in there are on par. Something was, I can't remember that. I don't have the stats in front of me or the tech specs, the list of it. Some things were lesser than you had on the Series X. But yeah, I mean, if the majority of stuff is in there and it's got a much smaller asset base that it's loading from, and it's loading assets that are much smaller in size as well, then yeah, in theory it could be a technical advantage in terms of getting you those frames.
I've just literally thought of it as we're going through the specs of like, will that gain you the advantage? I mean, this could be so left field, and people just call me thick as fuck and a dimwit for coming up with a statement like that. I'm not a technical. I'm not. You could put all of the specs of something in front of me, and I would not know what 95% of that means. So when stuff like this just pops up, my head's starting to go into thinking about a million different things. But that's just one of the things. For like when I'm playing on Warzone or whatever it is on my PC, I tend to put it down to low. Like I've seen when I'm watching other streamers, they tend to do that. So I thought, do you know what? If they're doing it, it must be okay. Do you know what I mean? I don't want it to look the absolute best because the better it looks. My PC is a little bit older now, so it takes a little bit longer to be able to render that stuff in, and it can't play games on ultra anymore, and it can only play it not every single game on high, put it that way. So if I'm dropping it down to low, it's faster to load in the textures. My screen can keep up for a start. So all of these things do play a part in giving me the better frame rate as possible. So if that's the case with this, do you get a slight advantage? I mean, no, people probably aren't going to care about that kind of thing, but obviously we live in a world of esports. We put on tournaments left, right, and centre. Professional esports tournament providers. So these kind of things happen, especially when you're in like a room with a load of PES players and they're saying, what is the refresh rate of this? Are we playing on PlayStation 4 Pros? They know the specs that they want to be able to play, and they don't want anybody else to have the advantage. So straight away, I think of things like that because I know full well at some point down the line, someone's going to ask us this when it comes down to doing our actual jobs. So it's just always nice to know these kind of things beforehand.
Yeah, I mean, just do want to jump back to the fact that you called us professional esports tournament providers. From now on, we should reference ourselves as Pet P. Pet P. um,
Hashtag that shit.
Hashtag Pet P. um, Speaking of Pet P and esports tournament providers, Ad says I can't enter the Muscle Moose Cup because no esports pros are allowed. Kappa. Actually, they are. This is a pro am, so you can be a pro or an amateur. It's fine. Get in. Do either. If you've not signed up, Ads, then do you know what? We'll have a word with Muscle Moose and we'll get that 25% revoked just for you, mate. Yeah. No, I mean that could be a thing. I mean, maybe not. The only thing with the maybe is I don't know enough about the technical specs in terms of which bits are lesser than the because the Series S is in a lot of ways similar to the Series X, but obviously in some other ways, some key ways, it isn't. It doesn't have as much power. I mean, the hard drive is half the size, but that's more about storage and accessing data. But other bits, like I said, are on point. It depends. I don't know enough about which technical bits, and I don't have the tech specs in front of me to compare them anyway. But it could be a case of that the bits that matter are different. So yeah, even though it's loading smaller assets that are potentially 30% smaller, it doesn't necessarily mean that you've got a 30% boost there. It could be elsewhere, but it is a good point. Will the Series S also have the storage inputs like the X? I believe so. I believe you can add your own additional storage on top of it. So for those that know, the Xbox Series X comes with a 1 terabyte SSD, and you can put your own additional storage in there. But it has to be, what was the is it proprietary SSD expansion? So it has to be NVMe, but an Xbox hard drive that you put in basically. Whereas the PlayStation allows you to use just compatible ones. Different ones will work at different speeds, whereas the Xbox has to have a proprietary hard drive.
What I was saying to Spike yesterday, because he was saying that the 1 terabyte, I agree, 1 terabyte nowadays isn't going to get you much. I'm still using, I've mentioned this every day this week, I'm still using a basic PS5 with a 500 gigabyte hard drive inside it. So a 1 terabyte straight out of the box is great. However, nowadays that'll probably get you 5 games maybe, especially with the likes of battle royales that are just tacking new stuff on top of their older hard drive space. So like, is Warzone up to like 180 gigabyte hard drive space now? That's like near enough. I could have another game and a bit on mine with stuff like that. So it's a little bit annoying, but I like the fact that they allow you to put your own hard drive in, because I wouldn't like Sony to dictate to me how much I would have to spend for the size increases of my PlayStation. 1 terabyte I might be able to get for 30 quid, but they may charge 100 because it's already stocked with it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I like that as well, because if you look at the PlayStation, all of the key art assets for the PS5 showed you the PS5 Digital Edition, the DualSense controller. Then you started to get things like the DualSense charging dock, and then the media remote, and then the 3D audio headset. And by the time you've bought all of that stuff, your $449 console is over $700 then. Pounds, should I say, not dollars. You're over £700 at that point. So it's £350+ extra for the extras. And then another 100 quid for a hard drive. Suddenly you're the best part of £1,000 in for a console just to get it with a 2 terabyte SSD and come with the bits that come with it, kind of thing. Obviously, you don't have to buy all those extras, and most people obviously won't have done. Or you can buy them on later on, add them on later on. But yeah, having it so that you can buy aftermarket parts, I like that idea. I mean, no doubt Xbox will get to that point where they'll just start licensing. So at the moment, it's just Seagate make the proprietary Xbox NVMe SSD expansions. I would imagine that even if they're not officially licensed or approved, you will buy compatible ones, or you will be able to buy compatible ones that will work with the was it called the Velocity architecture that Microsoft has in there to play games with all of the speed. I mean, the 1 terabyte hard drive, I definitely feel like if what has been said is legit in terms of assets in games are going to be much bigger. We're not playing 1080p anymore. We are playing 4K pretty much as standard. So we'll need 4K textures up to 8K textures, so that 4K to 1080p, the difference is 4 times. That's where the 4K comes from. It's 4 times as big as 1080p. So assets are going to be 4 times as big. So naturally, the games are going to get bigger. But because of the way that the SSD works versus a HDD, it means that they don't have to duplicate as much stuff. So file sizes should be smaller. So the general expectation is that they will balance out. Whether that actually happens or not by the end of the generation, I'm not sure. We could be looking at 200 gig for a game potentially by the end of the generation. So yeah, a 512 gig SSD isn't going to go far. No, a 1 terabyte isn't going to go far. A 512 isn't going to go anywhere. So that expandable memory definitely is something that we're going to need.
I've got a question. I don't know whether or not you're going to be able to answer it, and it's based off of what Cobra's just said there. I've noticed that most people who get games digitally tend to delete their games more often. I agree with that, because I still have quite a lot of my games that I have on the shelf installed on my console, including one of them that you've got at your house. When you put the disc in, does it install the entire game to your console? Because there's no way, if I'm playing a game off a disc, that it requires about 75 gig worth of hard drive space if I'm playing it off the disc.
Not usually. It can do, technically. I mean, usually what happens is you will put your game in and it'll be like day one patches. It's like, oh, here's the additional content. So the stuff that isn't on the disc usually gets downloaded. But depending on the game and depending on how many updates, it could be a case of your disc has 30 gig on it, but you end up with 70 gig on your console because that's the additional content that needs to run off the disc. Obviously, the other way of doing it is, I don't know if you can still do it on the PS4. I've never actually tried it, but you can basically lift everything off of the console, off the disc, and store it onto the console so it runs faster. You still need the disc for the boot process, like the digital handshake. So you can basically move it all off so it loads faster straight from the HDD rather than the disk drive. I don't know if that's still a thing anymore. But yeah, more often than not, most disc games now have the same sort of size on the console as opposed to just the disc. That said, if the stuff was digital, then you wouldn't even have the chunk on the disc. It wouldn't be sat on the console. So I agree with what Cobra's saying. I find that I'm deleting games very often. So I have quite a few games installed on my console at the moment. I've got Spider-Man because I started ages ago and haven't finished it and I want to finish it. I have Horizon Zero Dawn, which I started but didn't finish, so it's still sat there. I have Marvel's Avengers, which I've started and still sat there. And Red Dead Redemption, massive, started, still sat there. I have all these games that I want to play through and don't want to delete. But they're all digital, so I'm having to kind of get rid of them. So I had FIFA installed. Okay, that's gone. I had something else recently installed. Okay, that's gone. Yesterday or the day before, I had to delete Jedi Fallen Order because am I really going to play through that again? Probably not on the PS4. Maybe on the PS5 at some point in the future. But yeah, deleted that to get rid of that. Whereas if that was a disc version, I mean, it was a disc version, but if that was even that, it was a disc version, I still have 40 gig on my PlayStation for the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. So yeah, I mean, it kind of is true, but you will delete games less if they're on discs. But disc games still have a shitload of extras now, so it is true to a point. But if you start just leaving the games on the console, eventually you get to a point where you will have to need to delete them anyway at this point because games are that large in file size. Jumping back into the chat, Ad says, I'm just enjoying the game for now, trying to not get competitive and negative. If I enter, you know I'll have the juice, so I'll be raging, eh? The thing is, it's actually quite a casual tournament. We've gone for a one-leg thing. I mean, usually in an esports setting and online environments, we don't just want it to be one game, winner takes all, because we kind of want it to be a fair roll of the dice, so everyone gets the best chance that they've had, but we just wanted it to be a really quick, really simple, really casual tournament. So it's an 8-man tournament. So the most games you're going to play is 3 games. So you can do it in an hour. Boom, that's it. It's gone. So yeah, you play through your 3 games maximum. So that's the quarterfinal, semi-final, final. That's if there's 8 players in the tournament. If not, semi-finals, finals, or however many it is. So yeah, it's just 1 game, 1 round. Providing the game is all nice, job's good to move on to the next round, and that's it. So it should not be rage inducing. That's kind of the idea of it. All meant to be a little bit of fun, but yeah, get yourself signed up. Do it. But if you don't want it, it's fine. But get yourself signed up. That's all I'm saying. If performance wise is the same, then the lower storage of the Series S won't really matter as much. I have the PS4 Pro and I have 11 games and still have 592 gig left. Mine isn't on, so I can't show you right now, but I think I'm not too far off. I have some smaller games like Rocket League installed, and I keep having games like GTA 5 installed, but then getting rid of them just because I don't play them that often, and it's massive. So, yeah. Good morning, KSB. Did you see the 3080 benchmarks? I didn't. I saw the headline and saw that it was as good as people were hoping. Is that right? I mean, that's kind of what I was looking for, just to see if it was as good as it was promised. The gist is, yes, it is. But am I right with that? Am I right with that? I mean, I definitely want one, but yeah, pre-ordering a PS5 yesterday means I'm probably going to wait on that one. And they sold out in like seconds, didn't they? Cobra says, take the hint, G, and return Bibby's game. He's got one of mine as well, so it's fine. He's actually got my Fallen Order, which I was just talking about a second ago. I'm from India. Remember me? I do. I remember the fact that I forgot in the last one, and I said it will probably take me some time to remember. But I do remember. Luke says, Fallen Order, what a game that was. Yeah, exactly. Got to keep one-legged ties with COVID. Can't have teams travelling over the world. Exactly. We don't want ads travelling to Birmingham to play whoever and then travelling back up. And yeah, you know, all these infected boys. Rocket Ball is now free to play. Is it free to play today? I thought it was like the 23rd or something, but it might be the 18th. I can't quite remember. But yeah, Rocket Ball, Rocket League is good games. If it is free to play, you've not played it, give it a try. So yeah, just jumping back into the main story. Then obviously the Xbox Series S install sizes are approximately 30% smaller than the Series X. So yeah, keep that in mind as we jump into the next story. We will be staying on PS5 for the majority of the show because obviously everything is coming out. We just had the PS5 game showcase. Pre-orders went live and then went gone and then went live and then went gone and then went live and then went gone. And Argos went live this morning and they sold out within seconds and stuff. But it's all right. It's all right. You don't need to buy all of the extras and stuff with it. If you do manage to get yourself a console, just grab yourself the console and sit down and enjoy PlayStation's equivalent of Game Pass. Or not. As Andy Robinson for VG says, PlayStation's boss says that the Game Pass model doesn't make any sense for Sony. We won't put new releases into a subscription model because it's unsustainable, says Ryan. PlayStation boss Jim Ryan has said a subscription model like Xbox Game Pass doesn't make any sense for Sony's first-party operation, considering its focus on big budget games. Speaking to GamesIndustry.biz following Wednesday's PS5 showcase, the SIE president claimed a subscription-type model would be unsustainable for PlayStation Studios because it often sees its game budgets grow to well over $100 million. On Wednesday, Sony announced the PS Plus collection, a library of PS4 games which subscribers to its online service will receive as part of their service on PS5. However, Ryan ruled out putting new releases behind a subs model like Microsoft does with Xbox Game Pass. For us, having a catalogue of games is not something that defines a platform, the exec said. Our pitch, as you've heard, is new games, great games. We've had this conversation before. We're not going down to the road of putting new release titles into a subscription model. These games may cost many millions of dollars, well over $100 million to develop. We just don't see that as sustainable. He added, we want to make the games bigger and better and hopefully at some stage more persistent, so putting those into a subscription model on day one for us just doesn't make any sense. For others in a different situation, it might well make sense, but for us it doesn't. We want to expand and grow our existing ecosystem, and putting new games into a subscription model just doesn't sit with that. In contrast to Ryan's comments, Xbox head Phil Spencer has claimed that Xbox Game Pass can be a real decision maker for people evaluating which next-gen console to buy this year. Commenting on the PS Plus collection, which includes games like Monster Hunter World and Bloodborne as part of the online subscription, Ryan said he hoped fans were surprised and delighted by the announcement. The great first-party IPs are all there, the great partner titles, and we'd say that if you're new to PlayStation, or if you didn't have a PS4 but are getting a PS5, and you're taking out a PS Plus subscription, you're basically getting PS4 there for the price of the subscription, Ryan said. We're delighted to be able to do that. We think that's really exciting, and we hope that people were surprised and delighted by that. There we go, that's just general pricing stuff. So, The PlayStation Plus collection is effectively giving access to all of Sony's PS4 catalogue on the PS5. It's a sense of backwards compatibility to rival a little bit of what Game Pass offers, but Game Pass offers day one. Okay, Gears 5 is out now, play it on Game Pass. Boom. Halo is out now, play it on Game Pass. Boom. Sony will be like, okay, well, everything that we've released previously is on PlayStation Plus. You get that in the Plus collection, but you won't get Godfall. You won't get. I can't even. I've got the new God of War Ragnarok when that comes out. You won't get that on day one. You maybe will get it eventually, but not on day one. What are your thoughts, Bib?
I've always wondered how much Microsoft are potentially losing on having, as soon as it comes out, goes to Game Pass. That's not just their first party games, that could be potential partnerships with third parties to put their game on Games Pass so they can have it straight off the bat. So I was always wondering how much money that they would potentially lose from that, but also how much more they would potentially make from how many people actually sign up to Games Pass. So straight off the bat, I know PlayStation Now isn't worth the money that you pay for it, unless there is a stupid amount of games that you've missed over the years that is on PlayStation Now. I personally don't think it's worth it, especially when it used to be at the old price of £16 a month to be able to go in and play these games. They've reduced it significantly. I think it's 50% off now. Whether or not that makes it £8, I'm sure it's £8. But yeah, it's just it was stupidly priced, and it priced themselves out of the market. I agree with them that having their first party games on there may hinder how many games they would sell overall, because I still don't think that down the line people will resubscribe after the first month. So someone will technically pay £8 to play a brand new game, and then after they've played that game, never re-sign up to it, so they've got a brand new game for £8. The reason why Xbox have to keep on putting the brand new games on there is to make sure that people keep on signing up to it, or they'll buy a year pass and then take the entire money for the entire year rather than a resubscription model. So I think it's a very difficult thing to be able to do, and the reason why I think PlayStation won't do it is because they're leading. Why would they need to put the likes of The Last of Us? Why do you think that they don't need to put the likes of Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War, all of these games into that? Because I know people are going to go out and still buy it. They're still buying it now for Steam, because people who haven't had PlayStation's in the past want to be able to play these games. So it's two very contrasting companies going through two very different business models at this moment in time. And believe it or not, the person who's offering more for less is the person who's in second place as it currently stands.
Yeah, I mean that we've mentioned this 1,000 times. You have to take risks if you're in a race. Say it's Formula One. You're Lewis Hamilton in first place, and you're like, okay, all I need to do is keep my calm and just do what I'm doing. Play my own game. Don't worry about anything else. I'm in first. But if you're, I can't think of any other. Is Raikkonen even still a Formula One driver? Let's say Kimi Raikkonen. Let's say he is. Let's say he's behind Lewis Hamilton. Please don't tell me they're on the same team, because this kind of makes shits my analogy. But let's say they're competitive drivers. Kimi Raikkonen wants first place. He has to cut that corner. He has to take a little bit off, or even put a little bit more on his acceleration as he's coming into a corner. Usually you take his foot off and just smooth go around it. He has to hammer it to go past. He has to take risks to try and get first place off Lewis Hamilton. That's the PlayStation and Xbox analogy. PlayStation are Hamilton in first. Xbox are in second. Xbox are having to add that extra little bit of acceleration, i.e. put more into Game Pass. They're having to take risks by losing more profit, taking more money off themselves at the risk of, kind of like making things weak, spinning out. But the reward is they do undercut him. They do take him on the straight. They do get into first place, and that's the analogy that we've used quite a few times. Maybe not the race car version of it, but if you're in second place, you have to take risks to get into first place, and that's what Microsoft are doing. Game Pass is the best deal in gaming. Everyone says that. Anyone who disagrees with that is a fool. It's the best. It is such a good offer. But if like Jim Ryan says, your games are over $100 million every time, and you're just giving it away for free, and I say for free, it's not for free. You're spending 8, 9, 10 quid or whatever it is a month. 15 quid is it? Is that what it costs for the Game Pass Ultimate now?
I think it's got to 15 quid. Well, that's what I was paying on it. I'm sure the Ultimate might be 15 quid because it includes Xbox Live with it, but I think for just like the PC version, it might be a fiver.
So let's say we'll go for the 15 quid. 15 quid is £180 a year. So if you look at, let's break that down into what that would be for a PlayStation sort of idea. £180 a year. Let's say PS Plus costs you 45, 50 quid. That leaves you with £130 left to play with. There might be other games that you would purchase. So let's say what's come out this year: Ghost of Tsushima, The Last of Us Part 2, and maybe even Final Fantasy. Those three games are in PlayStation's Game Pass. Okay, that's the whole 180 quid counted for. One on live subscription plus three games. So that's okay. Well, that's the money gone. Then any other PlayStation games that come out in this year, okay, well that's all kind of money lost, and that's why it's such a good deal for Game Pass. But Xbox doesn't have as many games at that size and scale dropping as PlayStation does. So what we've had like Gears and Forza recently. Has there been any other major Xbox games that are developed by the Xbox studios that are coming out on day one on Game Pass? Are they dropping them thick and fast? So like PlayStation's obviously we've got.
Grounded was, wasn't it?
What was that?
Grounded, was that one of them? That was new. That went straight onto Xbox Game Pass, didn't it?
What was it again? It broke out twice then.
Grounded.
I was like, I don't know whether you said hounded or what, but yeah, grounded. Was grounded the spidery one?
Oh yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
But was that an Xbox exclusive one? I can't remember.
I don't know if it's exclusive to it. It's on PC. You can play it on PC as well.
Yeah. Oh well.
I don't know if it's just a Microsoft exclusive. Shall we call it that?
Yeah, an Xbox console exclusive. Yeah. So like, I mean, like PlayStation's got things like obviously Uncharted. Is Spider-Man going to be on it? I can't remember. They did show a bunch. So Uncharted's going to be in there. I mean, GTA is going to be on it as well. From looking at this asset, God of Wars and things like that. So PlayStation has quite a bit that is going into it, but all those games are movie level games and very, very frequent, 2-3 a year, whereas maybe more, whereas Xbox doesn't have them at the same sort of scale. So yeah, it is horses for courses. I would absolutely love for a Game Pass option to be there, so I can get the big games like Uncharted 5, not that that's been announced, God of War 2, Spider-Man 2 after Miles Morales, and those sort of things. Horizon what's the next one? Something Forbidden West or something?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I'd love all of that to be on some sort of subscription package. Nice and easy. I mean, I'd go for that all day. It saved me money over the long run, but it wouldn't actually, because I get a lot of games for free, working in the industry. But yeah, as a consumer, I would like that. It would be a really good deal, but PlayStation would be just literally dropping a shitload of profit from their perspective, forgetting what we would like as consumers. PlayStation are out in front. They're earning money. They're making games that are universally loved. Why would they want to rock the boat? Not only from a profit standpoint, but if they change it and they don't get the profit, can they deliver to the same extent? Are they going to cut corners? So would have God of War just you'd be a decent game, but then actually it would have been better. These loads of plot holes because they rushed through it and they cut things out and they didn't have the resources to do things, and yeah, not only from a profit perspective, by switching to a model that doesn't necessarily make sense for your business could jeopardize your creativity and what you actually output in the end. So do you know what? I love the idea of the Game Pass model, and I especially love it because I don't feel I would get the value out of Xbox yet. 2 years time, when they've got the Xbox studios churning out more games, then the Xbox ecosystem appeals more to me. But right now, when there's not that much there, the fact that I have access to shitloads of it all the time is really good for me. But I kind of I don't feel like I need it yet. I would love it for Sony, but I don't need it. There's so many games that I've not even played yet that I have, because they come out so thick and fast that, yeah, I don't really need it. I would like it being selfish and greedy, but I don't necessarily need it. And if it's gonna mean that PlayStation stop doing what they've been doing successfully for the last 7 to 15 years, which is creating the Uncharted series, which is creating The Last of Us, which is creating the God of Wars and the Horizons and the Spider-Mans and all of that sort of stuff. If they stop doing that so that they can chase like mass market, then yeah, we'll all be losing out. So I'd rather it if it's not the right model, don't do it. Let Xbox do that. You do your thing, and then we have some differential. Then we can choose what we want. Jumping back into the chat, Mr. Tharian Drake says, "Hey lads, saying hi before I go to bed. Hope your stream is going well. Cheers, dude. I'm guessing you're in bed
Cheers,
already,
mate.
but appreciate the message.
Thank you. Hope your stream went well, buddy.
Yeah. Please feel free to go drop a follow. Click on Tharian Drake's name and hit follow. By the way, he plays Conqueror's Blade quite a bit, and I've been seeing he's been churning the numbers recently. And if you want to play Conqueror's Blade, he gets drops and shit because he's his big things. So that's all I'm saying. Anyway, David says the 3080 is not entirely what they said. Yet they stated double the performance than a 2080, but that's only in select games like Minecraft RTX. But it's only the usual 15 to 20% so far, at best, with basic non-game ready drivers. But it's also like a third of the price. So 3080 or a 2080, 15-20% better at 33% of the price. I'd take that. I'd take that. PlayStation Now is a waste of money. Most of the games they have available can be bought for pennies. I think we have a bit of delay. Say boobies.
Boobies.
Yeah, there's like a 3-second delay between us there. Do you know what? Let's just kill
via voice or via video.
Well, your voice and video are in sync, but it's like when we speak, there's like 3 seconds. So I'll ask you a question, so we keep kind of talking over each other. So let's just kill the call and come back.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, there we go. Nice. Okay, jumping back through the comments again. PlayStation Now is a waste of money. Most of the games they have available can be bought used for pennies. Only if you have a disc edition of the next console. But I agree with the sentiment. PlayStation Now, for me, and I know that it doesn't. I'm not speaking on behalf of every gamer out there, but for me, I'd be happy if they got rid of PlayStation Now. I don't have it. I don't want it, and as it stands, I'm not going to get it. I'm not interested. So they could get rid of it for me. It's a subscription service for old stuff that I'm not interested in. That's the way I'm going to put it. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's harsh because there's some games on there that I have played and I have enjoyed and so on. But most of the stuff that's on there, if I wanted to play it, I will have played it already. It's not like Game Pass offers you. It's like it's got the headliners, the big bits of content. What does PlayStation? What's the USP for PlayStation Now? What does it offer you that you've missed out on or not had the ability to play yet? Can't think of it. So yeah, I agree. Buy the cheap pre-owned version. Luke says I've got it, but it is the selling point not that you can get PS3 games to play on PS4. Yeah, that's their main selling point, but the quality of the game isn't improved, so you may as well pick up a PS3 and play it on that instead of playing the PS4. I mean, if you're going to play PS3 games, I'd much rather play it on a PS4 if I could. Ow, bit my tongue. If I could, I'd much. I've got like a really sore cut on my tongue, so I keep catching the edge of it. But yeah, I'd much rather play it on my PS4 if I could. And I know Bibby may have different opinions in terms of getting things to work and having them all native and so on, but if I could just have it all on one console, for me, I'd rather have that. But then again, I'm less likely to go and play PS3 games as well.
I mean, I'm with you on that in terms of I would absolutely love to be able to play all of. If I had one console that could play absolutely everything, that would be it for me. I wouldn't need to keep on digging out my PlayStation 2 to be able to play PES 2 or any of the older PESs. That is the biggest bugbear for me, especially trying to get it to look as good as it can when I'm streaming it, which is a nightmare. I know a lot of people now are actually able to emulate PS2 games on their PC to make it look better. I can do that, and my PC can do that. However, I just like to have the PlayStation 2 controller in my hand as well. As much as a negative on me, I want to be. I don't want to use the word authentic. What's the word I'm looking for? I want to use the old school hardware. I want it to be native. That's the word I'm looking for. I want it to be the old school stuff, but trying to make that older picture on the PlayStation 2 look good on stream is very difficult unless you have a lot of expensive kit to be able to do that. So if I have the PlayStation 5 says that it could play 1, 2, 3, and 4, every single one of my old PlayStations would just go into the cupboard and potentially never come out again, or I'd just put them on the stand behind me as like a memento kind of thing. So I
What
do
stand
agree with
behind you, babe? Let's have a look.
that.
Technology. Drum roll.
Oh,
Hey!
mind my crusty fan. But obviously, I've got all of these here. I mean, for those of you that have been here long enough, you'll see this pretty much every single day. But I've got all my shelves here. I've got probably about 200 games in there, and then a shit ton more in my cupboard here with all my old consoles. So yeah, being able to play all of those on one console would be amazing. It would be so much easier. It would probably look a lot cleaner as well. When in terms of when it comes through the stream, it would have to be upscaled. What is going on with my fringe? Tuck that under. Jesus Christ. But yeah, if I had the opportunity to be able to buy a PlayStation 5, and then said on top of that, if you wanted to pay an extra £80, you can have full emulation. I mean, I would even pay an extra £150 to be able to play all of those on one console. I'd pay £600 to be able to have the entire thing. It's a no-brainer for someone like me anyway.
Yawn. That wasn't at you, but maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. That's all I was gonna say. Whatever. Mike, thank you very much for the 210 bits. I mean, I know we like to see Baby's room, but as soon as the camera changed, boom, 210 bits straight into the chat. Good morning.
Thanks, mate.
Cobra says all games on Xbox are available on PC as well, aren't they? Not all of them.
No.
Most of the bigger ones are, but some of the newer ones, there tends to be like a lead time before it comes out on PC. I think the idea is that eventually they all will be able to, but at present, no, not all of them, not yet. Luke says, is PlayStation Plus collection different to PS Plus, or do you get the collection as part of PS Plus? So you get it as part of PS Plus, so that's kind of their next gen sort of offering, which is kind of, it's nice, and it's not nice, it's really good, but it's also really easy. In terms of most people have The Last of Us, or The Last of Us. I don't know if The Last of Us Part 2 is actually in it yet, or God of War or whatever. If you're going to play those games, you will have had them yet, or some of them may have been heavily discounted, or even in PS Pluses, most likely, in terms of games of the month. So the fact they're not expecting to sell shitloads of those is a nice, easy way to give you access to a catalogue of very, very good games. I'm not going to undermine how good the games are, because they are exceptionally good games. So giving you access to that is a big thing, but it's also fairly easy because it's not going to cost them that much. And by doing that, if I give you access to God of War, look, there's a new God of War Ragnarok game coming. If you play the free God of War and realise this is actually shit hot and it's last generation, imagine what the next generation one's going to do. So whilst it's free content to us, it's easy for them to deploy, and it's also maybe an ulterior motive. The ulterior motive could be that, okay, we'll let you taste all of the ones that are about to come, so not only are we giving you free stuff that's amazing, but we might get a bit more money out of you too. So it's good. It is good. There may be ulterior motives in terms of using it as a marketing strategy. More often than not, anything like that is a marketing strategy, even if it's just trying to make your brand look cool. But I think it's not. I think it may be a bit more than that. They're using it to sell future games, but you get to play really good games without paying any extra for it. So, do you know what? Whether they market it or not, you're getting something good. So just take it and use it. Job's good. Yeah. What if PlayStation gave a discount for new releases? If you're a PS Plus, remember, similar to how EA Access gives you 10% discount. See, I like that. I can't see them doing that because the same out in front strategy. Okay, we've already got more people playing than Xbox, 2-1, pretty much the ratio. And people are buying our games, and our games cost a chunk of money, and people are happy to pay full price for the quality. So should we give up some of that money? No, let's keep it all. So I like things like that because that incites people to sign up to PS Plus. But PlayStation Plus also has record numbers. We've reported on that a few times recently as well, haven't we? But I can't remember what the numbers are, but the number of subscribers to PS Plus is like the most it's ever been. It just keeps going up, isn't it? I think that was the gist of it. So yeah, I'd like that because it saves money. But do I see it happening? Probably not. David says, I was just saying about the 38, just in case either of you or KSB wonders, we're expecting full features out of the box if you go for one. No, I mean, I will maybe go for one at some point, but not right now. I mean, my 1080 Ti is more than enough for most things. Yeah, no ray tracing and all of that sort of stuff, but yeah, it'll do for now. It's what Game Pass do all the time on Xbox. They always give you NBA, etc., a month or two before the new game releases, so you're into it when the newest version comes out. Yeah, really, it's a really good sort of like upselling strategy. Okay, do you want to try this? This really cool thing. It's really nice and it's really cool and it's free. Yeah. Wow, I'm really enjoying this. Oh, it's funny that you're enjoying it because I actually have a better one. Oh, do you? Can I try that one too? Yeah, of course you can. Here's a demo. Oh, can I play the full thing? Yeah, of course you can. It's 60 quid. Oh, okay. Well, I thought it was free as well, but go on then. What's 60 quid? Mike says it worked out. I spent 85 quid on the Kobe version. Kobe! That I think Microsoft called that a swoosh. But yeah, even still, I mean, whether you spent 85 quid on it or not, you got 2 games and an extended period of enjoyment out of something there. So you enjoyed it enough to buy the Kobe version. So that's marketing. That's absolute. That's what you want from your marketing. Something that is that effective that it makes you go out and get something. But then, if you've got good, better, best options, buying the best option. They've marketed and marketed effectively. I hate advertising, but I love marketing. I don't like people advertising to me, but I like people marketing to me. And to me, there's the difference. Advertising is, look, stuff you can buy. Marketing is, oh, look, stuff that you would want to buy. And yeah, if you step into the world of marketing away from advertising, then it's less mercenary and it's more providing something to suit a need that you either have or didn't know you have. And yeah, that's exactly what they've just done there with the Game Pass. Maybe they can do that on the PlayStation. We will see. Maybe the PS Plus collection could do that. Not to the same extent as Game Pass, arguably, but you know, the only one way to find out is to actually sit down and play with a PS5. And we can all do that, right? We all got PS5 pre-orders, right? Right? Oh, no, actually... No, because that ties into the next article from Andy Robinson at VGC, which says PS5 is already selling out a day before Sony said pre-orders would go live. Walmart, GameStop, and more already sold out. This article is written, as mentioned by Andy Robinson at VGC yesterday, so obviously we'll all be aware that this has progressed since then, but we'll go through the article anyway. Multiple retailers have already sold out of PS5 pre-orders, despite Sony telling fans that pre-sales for the console would begin starting Thursday, September 17th. In the US, retailers including Target, Walmart, GameStop, and Best Buy went live with their PS5 pre-orders within hours of the PlayStation 5's PS5 showcase on Wednesday. The first 3 have already sold out, while Best Buy's website is seemingly experiencing technical difficulties which have frustrated fans enough to cause the retailer's name to trend on Twitter. A Walmart spokesperson told VGC it will soon have more PS5 consoles available for pre-order via its physical stores. In the UK, Game and, as Bib calls it, Smiths. In the UK, Game and Smiths have also started taking PS5 pre-orders the day before PlayStation UK said they would. The retailers immediately sold out of digital edition consoles, which sources had previously told VGC were expected to be in short supply compared to the standard hardware. As of Thursday morning, Game is not listing any PS5 products. Amazon UK opened its pre-orders for the standard PS5 console on Thursday morning, and it sold out in around 30 minutes. The digital edition went live later on and sold out in even less time. That was about 5 minutes, I believe. Sony has sent out invites to those who were invited to the pre-order the PlayStation 5 directly from PlayStation, although invited customers will not be able to purchase the console until Friday. In July, PlayStation's worldwide marketing head Eric Lempel claimed the platform holder would give customers fair notice before pre-orders went live. So I think it's safe to say we'll let you know when pre-orders will happen, he said. It's not going to happen with a minute's notice. We're going to, at some point, let you know when you can pre-order a PlayStation 5, so please don't feel like you have to go run and line up anywhere until you receive an official notice on how that will work. Daniel Ahmad, senior analyst at Nico Partners, told VGC he expects supply issues for both PS5 and Xbox Series X this year. While production is ramping up and component scarcity is less of an issue than before, we believe that logistics issues will be a barrier for both platform holders to overcome this holiday, with the impact from COVID-19 leading to long shipping times and shortages on store shelves during the launch period. We expect Sony and Microsoft to utilise air shipments, which will cost more to meet demand this year. I knew that Sony said that pre-ordering shouldn't be anything that people should worry about, but I didn't realise it was so blatantly incorrect. So I think it's safe to say we'll let you know when pre-orders will happen. It's not going to happen with a minute's notice. I mean, it didn't happen with a minute's notice because there was no notice. It just happened. So yeah, the PS5 pre-orders are already selling out. As far as I'm aware, they've all sold out so far. There's probably going to be resupplies, but Argos went live this morning, and Beans TV, friend of the channel, I think may even be live right now playing PES. He was hoping to secure one from Argos. I've not actually spoken to him about it. I saw a tweet from him this morning, angry that Argos, he'd signed up for email alerts and everything, and just got nothing. They just went live at like 4 a.m. this morning or something like that, and sold out before he even got any sort of like look in for it. So yeah, I'm in the PlayStation camp. I have pre-ordered a PS5. I pre-ordered from Game. I wanted to do it from Amazon. The main reason because I wanted to use smile.amazon.co.uk to donate some money to special effects in the process of doing it. In the end, I got selfish and voted and pre-ordered at Game, and then thought, actually, do you know what? I can still pre-order at Amazon. I can cancel my Game pre-order. That's fine. Anyway, went to order from Amazon, and it had gone in minutes anyway. So I'm fairly I'm glad that I got my pre-order in from Game in that sense. But this is a shit show. I like the PlayStation ethic. I like the games that are coming to it, and that's the platform that I want to start my next generation journey on. But Microsoft, once again, when it comes to customer-facing messaging, are light years ahead. So the Game Pass, customer-facing, good value, boom. Allowing people a cheaper console and a more expensive console, boom. Allowing people the finance options that have 0% interest, so you can get it fully, is it all access, did they call it? So you can get playing for one fee that's fairly cheap, boom. And also, if you want it, we are telling you in advance exactly where they're going to be on sale and when. Boom. So they've nailed that, but the PS5 have absolutely shit a brick on this. Did you end up sorting a pre-order, babe?
Nope. Still nothing. I keep on saying to Samantha because she's absolutely devastated that she didn't manage to get one, because that's what I wanted for my 30th birthday present. She was like, "Do you want it?" I was like, "Yeah, dead right. Well, I want her." So she literally signed up to about 1 billion different mailing lists, and it seems like every single one of them has shit the bed and just not bothered sending them out. Like, she was on the phone to very yesterday for about 40 minutes, just screaming at the people down the phone. Like, it's obviously not the people in the contact center's fault. It's whoever it is upstairs, the specialist team, as they kept on calling them, that just decided not to bother doing it. Same with Argos. So I just keep on saying to her, don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. I'll get one when I can get one. It's not the be all and end all, because all I'm going to be doing is the first day is loading up and playing Pro Evo. Do you know what I mean? A PS4 game or a PS5 or whatever. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm not too bothered about it at all.
Yeah, I mean there will be. I fully expect more pre-orders to go live, even from those that have already sold out. So Game, I fully expect to have more stock. Same with Argos and whoever. I expect those guys to get it. There will be other opportunities for other people. So if you're watching this and you're wanting a pre-order, obviously we will keep you updated on how we're getting on with things on the scoop anyway, but I fully expect more will have more stock in. It'll just be a case of these are early projections or early stock secured. Sony will obviously keep. They don't just want to go, yeah, we'll have 1 million consoles or 5 billion consoles, and then all of a sudden it goes, oh fuck, we've only got 400,000. Shit, we've overpromised. So they will release it in stages when they know, okay, these are good, these are in production, these are being shipped. So yeah, there will be more stuff coming into stores. So you guys and Bib will obviously all have you will all get more opportunities to get the consoles, and we'll let you know how that progresses as it does. But how are you all getting on? Have you guys? I mean, Luke asked the question: have you got your orders in? What about you guys? Have you all got them? Cobra says, yeah, surely they will restock. Luke says, I'm going to wait until early 2021. I think. I mean, not a bad shout. Not a bad shout. There's no major reason to upgrade right now. I'm upgrading right now because my birthday is in December, and then Christmas is in December, and there's not anything else I need. So that's me. That's my birthday and my Christmas. Job's a good one. But other than that, there's not really any need. I mean, this Godfall is a launch day game, which I may play. I may not. What else was it? Ratchet and Clank isn't my kind of thing. Miles Morales I could play on the PS4. So there's Sid 9 lives. Hey, welcome in, dude. Thank you for using all of your lives to join in here. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Cobra says, nope, I haven't got mine yet. I'll probably wait until early 2021 as well. Luke says, yeah, I've just bought a place with my my GF, so not sure how well it would go down spending that much on a PS5. You've bought a place with your grandfather? That's nice. Nice. Oh, we're joking. Yeah, but then again, you can use it as a media centre. You just buy it with the media remote, and that's it. Look, I've bought us somewhere to watch Netflix and Spotify and Prime Video and all the rest in one place. There you go. It's a purchase for the house. It's not for me. It's for us. It's not for us. It's for the home. There you go. There you go. I've got you back, mate. I've got you. Don't worry. Sorted. Or just do what Cobra says. Just don't tell her. I don't think I condone that one as much, but I like the sentiment. Yeah, I like the sentiment. Make sure you get it. Yeah. But yeah, there is no major rush. We will keep you updated on obviously our findings on where things are as things go on. But yeah, as of right now, it looks like there's nothing available. But that's just the initial early panic. After we've had one or two pre-order restock spells, you might have a bit more flexibility in terms of pre-ordering them. There will still be people out there. I did see some people. I saw one person getting pissy and moany that they'd tried to pre-order 4 consoles and only got one of them, but were charged for 4 consoles. And I'm thinking, that's what you fucking get. That's what you get for trying to pre-order 4, you twat. There's people out there trying to get one, and you. Do you know what? That's karma. You are buying those so that you can sell them on Facebook Marketplace at 700-800 quid each. So that's what you get if you've been charged 1,700 quid. I don't have any remorse for you. I mean, usually I'd be like, that's bullshit. As if you've been charged 5 times, 4 times for something that you've only got one of. I don't have any sympathy. This just is what it is. Is what it is. They should keep the money too. They should. They should. There you go. Next time you try price gouge, there you go. You can offset it for the 1,700 quid that you've just spent there. Mm-hmm. But anyway, that's enough of what we can't play and games that will cost us a fortune. How about we jump onto the games that we can play and won't cost you a penny? What a nice cheesy tangent. Hey. Steph Nunneley for
the last one.
This is the last one. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just got an email, so we need to wrap this up.
Okay. This article is written. This article is written by Steph Nunneley for VG247, and it says Watch Dogs 2, Football Manager 2020 are both free on the Epic Games Store. Watch Dogs 2, Football Manager 2020, and Stick It to the Man are free this week on the Epic Games Store. All 3 games are available to download on the Epic Games Store until September the 24th. Didn't actually know this. I knew about Football Manager 2020. Yeah. I'd already tweeted about it this morning because I redeemed it. I didn't know about Watch Dogs 2, so I'm going to go back onto it in a second.
I redeemed them both this morning.
I got Stick It to the Man as well because I restarted my PC when I was talking to you, saying like I didn't have a start button, and that flashed up, so I got that as well. But I didn't get a Watch Dogs 2 notification, so But anyway, I'll continue. In the game, actually, surely you are familiar with both Watch Dogs 2 and Football Manager 2020, but you may not be familiar with the rather fun Stick It to the Man. In the game, you play a hard hat tester named Ray who wakes up after an accident with a pink spaghetti arm sticking out of his brain. Here, here you will use this new power to read minds and change the world with stickers. Thing is, he's also on the run because he was framed by the man for a crime he didn't commit. I think that's next week, you will be able to nab Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 Complete Edition for free. So Epic Games the Epic Games Store is the gift that just keeps on giving. So we've had GTAs and loads of other things over the year. Did we even get Ark Survival Evolved at one point as well, I think?
Yes.
We've now got Watch Dogs 2.
Farming Simulator.
Yeah. Now we get Watch Dogs 2, Football Manager 2020, and Stick It to the Man. If you are a Football Manager person, I'm not. I did get it just in case. But if you are a Football Manager person, the game has been delayed. The new game has been delayed from early to late November. So you've got all of September, all of October, and all of November. That's a quarter of a year that you've got of Football Manager content for free until the next one comes out. So that big things.
I'd love you to try it. I'd love you to try Football Manager.
I've tried them before. 2 hours of like, oh yeah, and I mean, you know what I'm like for Pez, like building my own spreadsheets last year for my club and shit like that, so I know who I want to get in my team and shit. I'm a nerd. Like I turn fun games into accounting. Yeah. So Football Manager sounds like it should be my game, but after 2 hours, I like to then go out and play on the pitch with it. And you don't get that in Football Manager. So after I hit my window at about 2-3 hours, and I've had it a couple of times. I've even tried it on mobile. I got Football Manager mobile a couple of years ago, and I thought the lighter version of it might, and it just didn't stick with me. So, but make sure you guys get it though. They're only free until the 24th, which is Thursday. So the Epic Game Store updates every Thursday anyway. That's when if they're going to give new games away, it'll be on a Thursday. So obviously it updated last night for us, evening time. I think it's about 5 p.m, 6 p.m. UK time. It updated Watch Dogs to Football Manager 2020 and Stick It to the Man at the free game. So if you've got an Epic Games account, get into the Epic Games client, get those added to your account, and they will be there forever for you to play. So do it. Let me know when you're doing a Football Manager 2020 online save. I'm in, says Mike. I mean, I won't, but Bibs could potentially do that kind of thing. So there you go. Cobra says, yup. I'm assuming that means you've got them. If you have, then nice. If you haven't and you want it, there you go. Fill your boots. So do you know what? On that bombshell, we will let you all toddle away, load up the Epic Games client and get those downloaded and added free, because we're going to wrap things up. A couple of things. First of all, is Bibby needs to respond to an email. But then after that, we will be back on the channel with our PES 2020 Master League. That's a PC Master League.
What I need to speak to you about.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we will be continuing with that. What I'm going to say may change depending on what the conversation is I have with Bib. I don't know what it is, but we are continuing with our PES 2020 playthrough. It's on PES 2020 for now, at least, rather than PES 2021. Obviously, we've put 80 odd episodes into it. No, 80 odd hours into it. Over 40 episodes into our Master League. So we are very far into it. At this point in time, we're sticking with PES 2020 rather than jumping to 2021. But you know, that may change. Whatever it is, all you need to know is the next episode will be following this. Around 12 lunchtime, 12 noon. Ish. So just make sure if you're in the channel, hit follow, like Sid Nan Lives did 7 minutes ago. Make sure you hit follow because you'll get notified when we go live. Whatever it is and whatever time it is, you will get that notification. But before we disappear to get set for Masters of the League, episode 42? Is that, yeah, 42, yep. Nice. Before we go and get set for episode 42, Bib, is there anything that you would like to add?
Yeah, if you do see any video game news that you want to hear our thoughts and impressions on, then do feel free to get in contact with us. There's 2 ways that you can do it. First of all, you find us on all major social media platforms. It's at Ice Cream Uploads across absolutely everything. Second way, join our Discord. There's a little section in there that says The Scoop. All you need to do is drop in the URL, your thoughts and impressions. We will then give our thoughts and impressions on the very next show, which will be at what time on Monday, Graham Day?
10 a.m. Ish. 10 a.m. ish. If you're new here, we say 10 a.m. ish. We aim for 10 a.m. but we are currently doing work bits around it and everything. Anyway, work life gets in the way, so it depends on that. So we aim for 10 a.m. but usually it could be anywhere between 10:30 or even 11 a.m. So that's where the ish comes from. Anyway, we are going to disappear. Like I said, stick around in the channel. We'll be back in about 15 minutes, 20 minutes ish with Masters of the League. Have yourselves a fantastic day. If we don't see you back then, what they got to do, babe?
You gotta stay frosty.
Stay frosty.